The secret nobody tells you about the beginning of the universe is that it wasn't a beautiful dawn. It was a violent, suffocating prison break. Before time, before space, there was only Hundun, a primordial state of absolute impenetrable chaos. But don't picture an empty black void. Picture a massive, dense, suffocating cosmic egg. And inside this egg, sleeping in an ocean of heavy, unbreathable darkness, was Pangu, the very first giant.
For 18,000 years, Pangu floated in a state of suspended animation. No light, no sound, no up, no down. Just the crushing weight of absolute nothingness pressing against Pangu's skin. But then, something shifted. Pangu didn't just wake up because an alarm clock went off. Pangu woke up because he felt something terrifying. He was suffocating. Imagine being trapped in a lightless closet for 18 millennia. Your muscles cramp, your mind screams, panic sets in. Pangu opened his eyes, and all he saw was pitch black. He tried to stretch his arms, but the heavy, fleshy walls of the cosmic egg pushed back. He couldn't breathe! The yin and yang energies were tangled together like a cosmic straitjacket. Now, you and I might just panic and pass out. But Pangu? Pangu got furiously, mythically angry.
You see, the truth is, Pangu didn't initially plan to create a beautiful world for humanity. The giant just wanted a breath of fresh air. Desperation breeds terrifying strength. In the pitch black, Pangu reached out, his massive hands grabbing into the swirling chaos. He needed a weapon, but there was no steel, no earth. So where did the weapon come from? Some legends hint that Pangu reached into his own essence, crystallizing his fury and a piece of his own primordial bone to forge it. He pulled forth the Pangu axe, a weapon so heavy it could fracture reality itself. Pangu gripped the handle with both hands. He planted his feet into the squishy bottom of the chaos, roared, and swung the axe with everything he had. Crack! The sound was so loud it invented the concept of sound. The cosmic egg shattered. The pure light energy, the yang, hissed and floated upward, becoming the heavenly vault. The heavy, muddy energy, the yin, sludged downward, becoming the earthly soil. For the first time ever, there was space. Pangu took a massive, glorious breath. But the relief lasted exactly 3 seconds, because the universe didn't want to stay open. The heavenly vault and the earthly soil started magnetically pulling back together, wanting to crush Pangu back into the void. This wasn't a finished creation, it was a collapsing trap. If you think Nazar carving up his own bones was a hardcore move in Chinese mythology, wait until you hear what Pangu did next. Pangu dropped the axe. He threw his hands up, pressing his palms against the crushing heavenly vault, and planted his feet firmly into the earthly soil. He became a living pillar. The only thing standing between existence and oblivion was Pangu's spine. We often think of gods waving a wand to make the world. But for Pangu, creating the world was basically an 18,000-year-long deadlift. Every single day, the heavenly vault rose 10 feet higher. The earthly soil grew 10 feet thicker. And to keep them apart, Pangu had to grow 10 feet taller. Every single day. Imagine the physical agony. Pangu's bones stretching, muscles tearing and reforming, skin pulling tight across a frame that was eventually millions of miles long. There were no angels singing to him. There were no humans to worship him. He was completely, utterly alone. For another 18,000 years, Pangu held the sky.
He became a titan so vast that clouds drifted around his ankles. Finally, the heavenly vault solidified. The earthly soil anchored deep. The universe was stable. It wouldn't collapse anymore. Pangu looked around at the vast, empty expanse he had fought so agonizingly to pry open. He was exhausted beyond comprehension. He didn't fall because he was defeated. He let go because his watch was over.
With one final thunderous sigh, Pangu collapsed. But the ultimate twist of this myth isn't his death, it's what happened to his corpse. You might want to brace yourself for this part, because Pangu's death is where our world actually begins. As Pangu's massive body hit the earthly soil, a miraculous, grotesque transformation began. His final breath turned into the fierce winds and the rolling clouds. His powerful voice echoed out, becoming the crackling thunder. His left eye floated up to become the scorching sun, and his right eye cooled, drifting into the night sky as the silver moon. His blood, gallons and oceans of it, carved through the dirt, becoming the Yellow River and the Yangtze River. His muscles dissolved into the fertile land, and his bones became the towering mountain ranges. But here is the most mind-blowing, slightly insulting part of the Chinese creation myth. We are not the masters of the universe. We are just tiny passengers living on the sacrificed flesh and bone of a giant who gave his life so we could have a place to stand.
Every time you feel the wind on your face, that is Pangu still breathing. Every time you look at the sun and the moon, those are Pangu's eyes, still watching over the space he broke his back to create. So the next time you feel like the weight of the world is literally on your shoulders, just remember the giant who held up the sky in the dark so you could stand in the light.